Hey, what's going on, Gemini? How are you? Gemini, thanks so much for watching. This is going to be your read for, for December of 2018, your general as well as your love and romance. Your love and romance reading will be timestamped later, okay? I do apologize about being super duper late with you guys' reading. There's still a few of you guys left that I still have to do. And, well, let's just jump right into it, okay? So, what's the strongest message for Gemini in general? What is the strongest message here that Gemini needs to hear in general for the month of December of 2018? Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And I'm going to go ahead and get all of the cards put out here on the table. What messages does Gemini need to know to clarify their reading? What clarifying messages can we get for... Well, all right, Gemini. Is there a lot of confusion going on this month or no? So let's see here. All right. And our last piece of advice. Our last piece of advice for Gemini. Okay, well, we do have one card that actually fell out and it flipped over. And it's water. It says emotions are at their peak. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like the energy here for a lot of you Geminis. Oh, you know what? Isn't the full moon in Gemini this December? You guys have to get back with me on that. I think it is. I think the full moon in Gemini is this December. Or is that Cancer? Well, we're still on the full moon from Gemini in November. The full moon in Gemini was in November, right? We're still riding that energy. So that could explain why, you know, emotions might be at their peak for you guys, Gemini. But let's take a look. Let's dig. Okay, so we got the Two of Cups. Yeah, that can make anybody emotional, right? So the Two of Cups pops out here, Gemini. A lot of you could be dealing with like a relationship, like a romantic relationship, but it doesn't have to be. This could be any relationship that you have with someone that you feel like, you know, they're your equal in some sort. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a best friend. It could be, you know, your favorite cousin that's your age. It just could be any type of like soulmate or twin flame relationship, and it doesn't always have to be romantic, but it can be. Okay, and of course, we know that it's somebody that you have emotions behind, being that it's the water energy here. You're getting the water energy, and then it's the Two of Cups. So Gemini, I don't know, you might be feeling a certain way. I'm sorry, just gonna drive me crazy. You might be feeling a certain way about like a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. And then now we have the Death card. Okay, so it could be a Scorpio. So the Death card pops up here in the past. Okay, so I don't know, Gemini, maybe in the past it could have been a Scorpio person that maybe, is what you're having to, a person that you're having to, navigate through this December with, however that fits to you. Now, this could just indicate here that in the past, for some of you Geminis, I'm really feeling like for some of you, maybe in the past year or so, you've had to you've been making like a lot of changes, maybe even a lot of personal changes within yourself. For some of you, you may have been trying to, maybe just put some things to rest, or put some things to an end, or maybe even kickstart something completely new, completely transformational from what you are in general, Gemini. Either way, there's just so much water energy here. There's so much emotional energy. Gemini, this is probably something that you didn't want to do. It could have been, maybe an end to a particular relationship with someone. And when I say relationship here in this general reading, it could mean a romantic relationship. But again, I stress it could just symbolize any close relationship that you do have. And we'll take a look at the love and romance reading later on here in this video. Okay, but I really feel like there was some energy here that ended, or that you had to put to an end, that you may have been like reluctant to do. Present energy, Judgment. Yeah, I think you're doing it now. Okay, Gemini. I think that in December is when you're actually really going to be looking at things for what it is. And in realizing that maybe in the past this energy was something that you maybe did or didn't know that you were dealing with. Maybe you didn't know why you've been so emotional lately. But I'm just getting the sense that with the Judgment card here, I think maybe things are at its peak right now, and it's like, okay, it's at the moment where, okay, the change either needs to happen, a decision, or a, if not a decision, at least, a review of where things have gotten to this point, so that you can change. Wow, this is actually really interesting with two major arcana cards popping out already. And then now we have the Tower. Wow, okay, so we got three major arcana cards popping right up here in this one column. So this future energy right here with the Tower, it just kind of says that for some of you Geminis, yes, that change is definitely being made in this month. For some of you, it's really going to rock your whole December. So for some of you Geminis, you may be but I don't really feel like it's like you're getting news. I feel like you're the one that's like bringing the news. And if you're not bringing the news this month, I feel like you're actually just taking a look at things for what it really is, and then you're realizing where you need to change and where you haven't changed, what you still need to change. And maybe hopefully by the year's end, or by the end of the month, well, which will be the same thing, that change occurs, and I think that it does. Now, this could indicate maybe a reconciliation with like a best friend. With the Two of Cups popping up right there, Gemini, I'm automatically getting like the twins, even though we don't have the Lovers card popping up here. But I am getting like this twin kind of energy. So Gemini, you could be like wrestling with yourself. Okay. The Five of Wands. Yeah, there's that conflict. So I'm sensing like there's could be conflict with maybe something that other people around you are doing or saying. But also, I would just feel like could be you guys just on an internal level, just being resistant. Not necessarily to the change yet, but it's more so just like you you already know. It's like you kind of already know what needs to be changed. You already know what needs to be either cut out or something. You already know that the course of action that needs to take place, but I think that you're reluctant to do it. Maybe because it's. I think it's because your emotions are caught up too deep into it. So however that fits to you, Gemini, I don't know. Okay, present energy we have is the Queen of Cups. Okay, so I don't really necessarily feel like you're expressing this, Gemini. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like you are really, putting that, that energy out there for other people to interpret. And I think that's what is confusing people around you, if there are people around you, or if there's a particular person that you're in some sort of conflict with. But the conflict stems only because somebody, or one of you, or both of you, is changing. And you're not really opening up about it, I don't feel, because I think that because for one reason, for some of you, you might not want to cause any waves, or you already know like what it is going to do for the relationship. But on another hand, I think that some of you guys are just really afraid. You're afraid of the change. You're afraid of what's going to happen once that occurs, once the judgment call is made here. Okay, and again, this is water energy. Okay, so it's the Queen of Cups. This could be that same Scorpio that you're dealing with, or it just could be someone else around you, or possibly another water sign. And then now we have the Seven of Pentacles. So you're waiting. You're biding time. But I do feel like the time that you're biding, Gemini, as you how can I say this for you guys? Geminis, the energy that I feel here is like, it's almost like you are trying to, it's almost like you are trying to, not trying to stop the inevitable, but it's like you're trying to uh, come at it by understanding it emotionally rather than um, mentally. Okay. And it's kind of funny because honestly, I don't think that you can. I don't think that for some of you, I don't think that you're really dealing with a situation that you can really uh, put a certain value to, either monetarily or resourcefully. I don't think that you can really think about it too much mentally. I think that for a lot of you, it is a very emotional, you know, it's like an emotional hang up. It's like, you have this energy, this passionate energy, or this, this love, right? It's okay. So how can I explain it? Like for some of you, it's like you're in love or you have love for a person, and that person may be causing certain conflicts in your life that you know that you can do without, and you already know better. Okay, but I think some of you might just be to the point to where it's like, whatever judgment call you make, it's going to cause a ripple effect. So it's like you're just trying to hold off on it, or maybe you're trying to see what's the easiest way to do it. Three of Swords. Okay, so Gemini. So that means that in the outcome of that, nothing. Man, there's gonna be disappointment. Um, there's a sense of betrayal. Um, whether that person feels like you betrayed them, or you feel like you betrayed, or you feel like that particular person betrayed you. Okay, um, but I don't really feel like, and this does pop up in the outcome. So hopefully this is by the end of the month, like before the new year. Like this energy you'll be taken care of before the new year. But I'm getting the sense of like, I'm getting the sense of no matter what, I don't think anybody will be like really happy here, and I think that's why you're so kind of what's the word I want to say, reluctant to really like communicate, um, or you don't. It's almost like you don't even want to go looking for what needs to change, because you already know what it is that needs to change, and you already know that by doing so is going to cause someone disappointment, or even you disappointment, or both of you guys. Okay. This is a very general reading. It's not intended for the love and romance side, but this, it could be that. Now, I do feel like for a lot of you, this may be a love and romance thing, but for some of you, this is again, it's like a very close friendship, a very close, maybe even a partnership in work, for some of you guys. Okay, so let's look at the clarifying cards. Oh boy, we've got the Sun in reverse. We've got the Knight of Cups in reverse, and then we've got the Seven of Wands in reverse. Well, I guess I picked up that whole deck in reverse, but I will take them like this because I don't believe that this came out by a mistake. Okay, so the Sun in reverse. So yeah, I think that for a lot of you Geminis, there's like this like this darkness cast over everything, or maybe there's like this, if not a darkness cast, it's like, like again I said, what it is that you need to to do to handle the situation, but I think that there's like a veil in a way, um, that is preventing you from doing that. I'm also just feeling like it's almost like you guys are kind of caught up in your ego with it as well. or maybe they are. Okay, now the Knight of Cups here, I do feel like the Knight of Cups could be a water sign again. Now this water sign, they could be, you know, offering you like an apology. Like they could be coming to you with a certain apology that I don't really feel like you are really taking it that seriously with this. And then with the Seven of Wands here, okay. Okay, I really feel like with the Seven of Wands here, up under the Knight of Cups, I really feel like there's an apology that comes forward. But I think that with the Seven of Wands, I think that it comes forward a little bit too late. It definitely comes a little bit. It comes too late after the occurrence of whatever you do. Now with the Tower there, Gemini, this is saying that the things that you need to do to handle this situation, go ahead and do that, or else it's going to be handled for you. And when it's handled for you, that's when things never really go how you wanted it. I mean, things never really go how you want it all the time anyway, but it's I always take the Tower card as I always interpret the Tower card, and this is just me. I always interpret that Tower card as saying, okay, handle a situation while it can be handled by you, or else Spirit is going to have to handle that for you. The universe is going to have to do it for you, okay? Because it's an inevitable change. It's an inevitable shakeup, but it is one that you can't control. Before then, and this does pop up in the future conditions, okay? So I think that you do have a chance to be able to make a judgment call and change what needs to change and transform this friendship. It might not even be that you need to end the friendship. It might just be that the dynamics of this friendship have changed. Oh my God. Okay, so Gemini, it could be that somebody that you were really, really, invested with, like on a friendship level, maybe the dynamics are changing and you guys are becoming more romantic. Things are transforming that way. Oh boy. But I think that as that happens, there's certain things about yourself that that you're going to have to like maybe disclose, that it's a deepening of the relationship that you already have. And I think that some of you are just reluctant to go there for like a fear of like maybe exposure, or feeling like this person is going to reject your offer once they know everything and you won't really be able to defend yourself. So however that fits to you, Gemini, that's kind of where this is right now. So like the dynamics of some of y'all's friendships are changing, whether they're dissolving or they are deepening, okay? And they could be deepening into a more romantic level, all right? And that's good, that could be a good thing, but just depending on what type of things you're withholding, Gemini, there could possibly be disappointment here, only because and I don't feel like it's disappointment maybe because of something that you did. For some of you it could be maybe something that I don't know. I'm getting like the sense of like for some of you guys in the past, like if this is like a best friend or maybe a close family member, like I think that maybe you feel a little bit betrayed because maybe something happened where you didn't have all the facts, and they could have presented to you all the facts, but they didn't. They withheld that, and they lied to you, or maybe omitted, or vice versa. Well, let me know how that works out, Gemini, because I don't really, I honestly don't feel like this will have too much resolve before the end of the new year, okay? I feel like this kind of might bleed over into 2019. I mean, naturally, emotions don't necessarily just go away that fast, right? About a situation, okay? So just kind of look out for this energy. This might not be what all of you are going through, but just look out for this energy, okay? You might bear witness to something like this going on toward the end of the month, okay? So Gemini, let me know how this works out for you guys in the comment box. I really do appreciate all of y'all's comments. all of y'all's engagement, all of your likes, all of your subscribes. I do appreciate it so much. All right. So, love and romance. Hi, Gemini. If you stayed with me throughout the very first reading, then thanks so much for being here with me, and I appreciate it. And if you just skipped over from the time jump to, from the timestamp rather, into your love and romance, then again, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it, okay? Now, I did leave the cards over there from the previous reading, you know, just in case we have to go back to them. All right. Uh-oh. Okay. So love and romance. What's the strongest message here for love and romance for Gemini for the month of December of 2018? What's the strongest message for Gemini? Please let us know. All right, Gemini. And then under the deck. Now let's go ahead and get the rest of the cards out on the table. And this is for love and romance for Gemini and the person that's most on their mind. Whether they are separated or together. And our last piece of advice for Gemini. Okay, that card wanted to pop, so let's let it pop. All right, Gemini, let's go right into it, okay? So we've got the King of Swords and the Ace of Cups. Okay, Gemini. So far, this energy here tells me that, so far this energy tells me that the relationship that you guys are in, or maybe the person that you have the most on your mind right now, that you do have a lot of love for you. They have a lot of love for you. You have a lot of love for them. This King of Swords tells me that communication within this relationship, I feel like communication in this relationship does happen. It is a very mature relationship, or a new relationship with just mature people in it. Okay. There is, I think that you guys, what you guys adore about each other is the fact that you are able to communicate, okay? Now, Gemini, this King of Swords could be your energy, and this Ace of Cups could be, you know, a water sign. Could be a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, okay? It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be at all, but, you know, this is just the energy of the cards. So, yeah, I really feel like you guys possibly could have the makings to be a very established relationship, or maybe you guys were established a relationship and you still have like a lot of emotions for each other, and you still think about each other. You're still on each other's mental a lot if you're in separation. Okay? Past energy we have is the Three of Cups. Okay, so there's a celebration here. Okay, so Gemini, I think that for some of you there could be okay, I'm feeling like Gemini, there in the past there could have been a proposal and someone said yes. So if that's the case, congratulations. I do feel like for some of you Geminis, this indicates that like maybe you met this person like at a gathering or some type of party. Now, on a more darker tone, it's still not really negative what I'm going to say, but on a darker tone, this could indicate that like maybe you met this person while you guys were like going through some sort of like rehabilitation for you know, substance or I won't say substance abuse, but it could be. But you know, to me, the Three of Cups can indicate you know, like an excess of something, but in like excessive partying, you know, so maybe, you know, everything that comes along with that. So I don't know, you guys might have met each other like at a party and you were both like super drunk, and then and things just kind of clicked. Okay, this could indicate that for some of you, oh wow, I feel like for some of you Geminis, you met this person like through a friend. or it could be a friend that is like, it could be like a friend at a party at some point in this month that's like, it's kind of giving you some sort of like emotional advice to be able to carry with you through the rest of December about that person. So let's see what the bottom of the deck has. We have the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands. Okay, let me look at this Knight of Wands. So, sorry. I was really studying. Okay, so like this Knight of... Okay, so I'm just feeling like with this Knight of Wands, there's like this energy of... there's like this underlying energy of... How can I say it? Like, it's very sexual. It's very, passionate. Okay? But I think that for some of you, I think maybe you just feel, or maybe you're afraid that that the energy here won't last long. That it'll only last as long as the good time lasts. And, after the party, it's like you guys, you'll never hear from them again until there's another party or something going on, or something like that. I feel like also some of you Geminis could fear that, like, if you express certain information about the way you feel towards them, that it can kind of rock the boat and maybe like scare them off and make them kind of jitterish. And it could go both ways. Okay. Oh, this could indicate that this could indicate the energy of like a fire sign, an Aries, Aries, Leo, or Sag, but it doesn't have to. This could just be one of y'all's energies that y'all are taking on. So maybe like you're kind of going into things like maybe you didn't meet this person like in a real serious environment. So there's certain things about this person that you just don't take all that seriously. But on the other hand, it's like they just made such an impression on you. It's like you almost it's almost like it's like I shouldn't take them that serious, but they made such an impression. On the top of the deck, we got the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, well, okay. So we're looking like the universe is, trying to, bring a little bit of fortune your way, Gemini. And I think that's probably why you guys are really like feeling like, okay, is this really right? Like, am I supposed to be here, like receiving this kind of attention, receiving this type of like affection, and receiving this type of, person, it's almost like here, just feeling like it's almost like a too good to be true Gemini. Okay. But, I don't think you should be caught up in that too much. I think that, you should really try going with the flow of this. Okay. Because I just really feel like for some of you, if you feel like this hasn't, if lately it hasn't been the time for you romantically, then things could possibly be changing. Future possibilities, the Seven of Coins. So you had the Seven of Coins pop up in your earlier reading, in your general reading. Okay. I think that with the Seven of Coins here, I think that you guys are going to kind of really take things slow. Okay. So even though you do have a lot of energy and passion and, such a, like they made such an impression on your heart from the first time that you met them. I think that you'll have multiple opportunities. I think the universe is going to put them in your face multiple times for you to really understand, oh, okay, this is somebody that I need to gravitate towards. This is somebody that I need to kind of put some stock into a little bit. Okay. If you're in separation right now with this person, I really feel like still universe is kind of like giving you signs and just kind of putting, I don't know, maybe you're still having to deal with them on a back and forth basis. Maybe you're still seeing them like at social gatherings, and it's kind of just making it a little bit hard. But it's only happening because I think there's still some unfinished business here that still needs to be worked out. Okay. The card that was under the deck, we have the Fool. So, okay, Gemini. So this is telling me that for a lot of you, this is the energy of like going all in, This is the energy of you guys just really springing forward and just jumping into, like, a new relationship, or a new, just something new. Okay. And I know that might kind of contradicted a little bit earlier, with what I said about, with the 7 of coins there, and you guys kind of taking it slow. And I think that this is you taking it slow. Okay. This isn't a major arcana card. This is you, like, trying to just, okay, let's see here. Well, then they, and then I, but with the Fool card here, this major arcana, this is like really telling me, like, Spirit has really put this person as a person for you to be able to gravitate towards. That's why they're coming up and around and being put in your face more and more, because they made such an impression on you the first time, or you made such an impression on them the first time, that it's really hard for them, and you maybe to, like, really even forget about them. But you're going back and forth. You have the energy of going back and forth only because maybe, just the circumstances of how you guys met may have been just a little bit, I'm going to say not traditional. And if it was traditional, like maybe a party or a gathering or some sort of like club or something, and that's another reason why you're not really taking it that serious, because, maybe you felt like, it should have been in a more, this type of person that you've met should have been met in a more serious setting. But what I see here, Gemini, is I see that Spirit is bringing this person around and around and around. You're seeing this person at the same parties. You're seeing this person at, wherever, you just keep bumping into them. And it's because, you guys have both made such an impression on each other that, you're gravitating towards each other. Okay, on your side, we have trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. That's a beautiful card. Yeah, definitely. I don't really think that, Gemini, I don't really think that you fully trust, not this person, of course, but, well, depending on who they are and, how fast things happen with them, that varies. But Gemini, I don't really think that a lot of you really trust the situation, or I don't think that a lot of you really kind of trust yourself. Maybe this is more like about your judgment here. You trusting your own judgment about it. Okay. Maybe you're looking at them popping up, like, not as saying, oh, well, maybe it's because we're meant to be, but it's just like, okay, this just can't be a coincidence. And then let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. And I think that's what's happening here. If you're in separation mode with somebody right now, I think that the situation, just, it's unfolding the way it needs to unfold. And that's why you guys are just keep running into each other, because this is universe, giving you the opportunity to be able to communicate the love that you have for one another, because it's so much there. And then if this is somebody that you're established with, I just feel like, you're still going to have multiple opportunities this month to be able to, like, really express how it is that you feel. And I don't think that the other person is going to, like, get skittish off about it. I think that that's just how you feel. I even think that maybe you feel like you're afraid that, you're afraid of the investment that could possibly be made here. But I think that the both of you are definitely ready for this. And it's time. Okay, just you guys got to trust, and really just trust the universe, and let go of the control issues, and let universe really do, or let Spirit really do what's meant for you guys to do. I mean. So we got this last card here popping up, Gemini. So we've got love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. I think that's a beautiful message, especially for my Geminis who are in separation mode right now. Okay, so this is saying that love is going to endure. It's going to stand the test of time. If you guys are separated and you're not really contacting each other, in spite of having multiple opportunities to do so, I think that you guys are really going to still carry that love that you do have for that person until you are ready to actually make that move and, either go back with them or at least conversate converse with them. Now, for you guys who are like together with the person that's the most on your mind, I really feel like you guys, this is a beautiful energy again, because this is giving us hope here for the future. I mean, well, either way, it's giving us hope for the future, that love will endure. You know, don't give up on this person. You know, if they've been in the struggle with you and you've been in the struggle with them, and things are just kind of like, and both of you might have one foot out the door in spite of how much love you have for one another, don't give up. Okay. I don't feel like you really want to give up. It's just like just a time where you just have opportunities to either do, you know, you have an opportunity to either go ahead and walk in that door, or you have the opportunity to completely step out of that door. But right now you guys are like kind of one foot in, one foot out, even though well, that's a whole nother scenario right there. Actually, that's a whole nother group of you guys. You guys might be one foot in, one foot out. Either way, Gemini, there's so much love. There's so much love here, and there's so many opportunities to be able to express that love, regardless of if you're separated or just dating or more established. Okay, so keep a lookout for that energy. I don't see anything necessarily bad here. Okay, so let me know how this works out, Gemini. I really do want to know. You guys always make me smile when you comment, when you like, even when you dislike. It doesn't matter to me. It's all engagement. You know, some things are going to resonate, some things aren't. So again, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can just email me at LuminantLibraTarot@gmail.com, and we'll get you set up. Okay, so Gemini, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I'll see you guys next year. All right, just got a couple more weeks. Bye. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.